What's up, guys? This is First Rep, a show covering news, highlights, and analysis for the marching community. We have a lot to dive into today, so without further ado, let's hit the Met. The activity was brought to a halt back in March of 2020 following the pandemic, and we have seen quite a few changes to the activity as we once knew it. Today we're going to be talking about what happened in 2020, as well as what's going to happen in 2021. I'm Nicole Casino. With me I have Casey Brohard and Suvin Varghese. Let's start with 2020. What are some things that you guys saw?
Yeah, highlight for me was the Blue Devils Hackfest. It kept the competition alive. Obviously, it wasn't against other drum corps, but it kept the Blue Devils engaged and they got to compete against each other a little bit. They also threw in some flair with not only their creative elements on the drum, but they were also showing us what they can do with the camera, what they can do with storytelling. And we all got to have a little bit of fun with it. The judges were alumni, and that was pretty good. We also had the audience that was able to poll and announce what they thought was the winner too. Nice. So all in all, throughout the season, every regional that was supposed to be there for DCI, Blue Devils announced a Hackfest, and it really kept everybody engaged.
And on a wider scale in the community, we had Percussive Arts Society do PAS Fundamental Fridays. So that was every Friday, had a world-class instructor available, do a virtual session, and just do something basic, fundamental for the people. So we had people like Jeff Queen do builders and primers.
Nice.
Roger Carter doing a flam drag breakdown.
Char.
Yeah, amazing, right? These guys are world-class instructors making themselves available to everybody through this virtual setting. It's really a great opportunity for members that don't get an opportunity to go to camps or anything like that. So really cool thing that came out of this situation.
Definitely. And speaking of accessibility and visibility for our community, the Marching Vlogs guys came together and put an all-star drumline together full of the highest caliber performers here in Southern California from groups like Broken City, Pulse Percussion, RCC. They learned a full 7-minute show and was able to partner with a local food bank, the La Puente Outreach Food Pantry. Over $5,500 was raised for the families a part of that organization, and just an overall feel-good thing for the drumming community.
I love it. On the international scale, Percussive Arts Society International Conference came to you in 2020 with the first ever fully virtual platform. This meant you didn't have to fly out to Indianapolis, which was great. You got to save a little bit of money, but you also got to see the great performances, clinics, and you got to see all the new percussion products that were out there. On the rudimental side of things, you got to see the Cavaliers perform from their 0 to 60 method when they went from 6 different decades of Cavalier literature that was delicately crafted and talked about, and it really brought you into the fold with what the Cavaliers are and what they represent, and they also had lots of great members kind of talk about their experiences too, so that was a really good highlight.
With all these COVID closures, we know that camps and auditions look totally different now, so some alternatives have been pretty interesting. With the Bluecoats, they did a symposium. Anybody could buy a spot. They're staff-led sectionals. I was able to do one of those. Great experience for me. And they're professionally run and they're all-day experiences. But some of the coolest parts of these were the keynote speakers. We had Sput Seawright, who's a drummer for Snarky Puppy, Kendrick Lamar, Jim Moore, Tony Award-winning choreographer, and Jacob Collier, up for Album of the Year. And he's here with the Bluecoats, and he gives an opportunity for the members to create a song with him, asking them for collaboration and input. It was just an amazing experience to watch. And what I really like about this is that drum corps are taking the opportunity to bridge the gap between the mainstream music industry and our activity. It's just really cool to see that gap close down a little bit. I thought this was a great experience for the members.
Oh yeah, I hope that gap is something that continues to get smaller and smaller, especially for our activity and the performers that are in it.
I'm waiting for a drum corps show designed by Jacob Collier. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So on the note of things being virtual, we actually had a virtual drum corps. Virtual Arts Inc. set out to do a full 11-minute long drum corps show. They hired AV engineers to put 2,300 performer videos together. A major, major feat, but really replaced the lack of competition and the lack of live shows that we were able to see this summer. Something that we may see pop up again in the future.
Yeah, I agree. We've also seen a lot of youngsters and influencers on Instagram and Facebook.
That's right. A lot of individuals are putting out content on their own, and it's a great experience for anybody that's participating. Some honorable mentions. We have Kyle Sachia, David Parker, Zach Wilson. All of these guys are putting out content and engaging with their audience. They're writing a lick and then putting out the beats and asking other people to post their stuff. So really cool opportunity. But one of my favorites is from Sean Para. What he's putting out on YouTube, I really engaged with this summer. He's learning the book and the exercises of other programs and other organizations and talking about his experience, walking us through what it's like to learn those beats, how it's different from a technical aspect. I just thought that was awesome. It really bridges the gap between all the different organizations, and what we need now is not division, but unity. So it's cool to watch that kind of thing happen.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah, a kid at his level too, just being able to just say, I'm just gonna learn this in front of everybody, I think that's incredible. That's a really cool talent to have, and the bravery just to go out and do it is really, really interesting.
I think that's a huge takeaway from 2020 is just the amount of time that a lot of us had to explore different avenues, for organizations to explore different avenues, and the creativity that we saw was tenfold. So a blessing in disguise. Let's move on to 2021.
On December 3rd, 2020, DCI announced their intentions to hold a series of events in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. Their statement noted they are being guided by a tour reopening task force of medical professionals and other experienced leaders both inside and outside of the marching arts. Additionally, CEO Dan Asheson of Drum Corps International stated, "The coming season will, by necessity, be different to say the least, but we are determined to safely create a stage like no other in order to offer performance opportunities in the summer of 2021 as a bridge to tour in 2022 and the celebration of DCI's 50th anniversary."
This announcement was then followed by individual drum corps statements, either denying or confirming the trip out to Indy in 2021. A majority of them plan to return to the field to participate in these events. But among those that aren't, however, are the California Corps, the Blue Devils, and the Santa Clara Vanguard. A joint statement was made from both the corps the same day as DCI's, titled "The Future Starts Now," that narrated their decision to decline these events in Indianapolis. Although we will not be in Indianapolis, both organizations will still plan exciting talent development and educational opportunities for summer 2021. Our intention is to use next year to help us bring the highest caliber programs to the field in Indianapolis in 2022. Since that statement, the Blue Devils have announced their program BDX that includes a number of their offerings throughout the summer for performers and students. First Rep had an opportunity to sit down with CEO Shaun Gallant to figure out what this all means. Check it out.
Shaun, thanks for being here.
Yeah, Casey, thanks for having me today. It's awesome.
Awesome. So Blue Devils just announced a ton of stuff just recently, BDX 2021. Before we dive into that stuff, just kind of go through a little bit of things that you guys have had to deal with through the pandemic and trying to steer a ship in these really murky and cloudy waters.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, the last year has been, God, I can't believe it's almost been a year, right? It's intense. So we did what Blue Devils do. And, as you know, right, we're creative and we're entrepreneurial, and we pivoted hard. We created an entirely new drive-in bingo game that we launched in I guess late June was when we got it off the ground. In July, we partnered with US Bands and brought them underneath our umbrella here at BDPA, which US Bands is the largest marching band circuit in the country. And when you pair that with what we were already running with WBA, it's we have a kind of a nationwide network of marching band events. So it's very exciting to provide those opportunities for students. And this summer, we're going to run educational events around the country. So our whole plan this summer is just to try to engage and get kids excited, rejuvenated about band. And we're touching, we're going to be involved with elementary, middle school, and high school kids, as well as there's a special need track. There's a track for band directors to be involved. So really just trying to touch every aspect of music education and get kids excited about being in the band room and really drive kids back to the band room.
So moving into the next few seasons coming up, seems like a few more things are on the horizon for BDX 2021. This means quite a bit to people to know that you guys are out there. What is happening? Give us a little more insight on this.
Yeah, we looking at all those things with education, right? Development, getting kids engaged, all those things. Those relate to our organization and our programs as well. And so we shifted quickly to, okay, well, we need to start looking at 2022 and beyond, and how can we develop that future member? that's why we launched auditions, right? You can go on right now and audition to be a Blue Devil for 2022. We also launched the Virtual Audition Academy that's going to start on February 8th. It's a 10-week course. And then anyone that goes through the audition process and gets a call back or gets a spot in the 2022 Blue Devils is going to have the opportunity to come to our intensives this summer. And then one of the most exciting pieces is our opportunity to go to Basel, Basel, Switzerland, and participate in the Basel Tattoo. We've always kind of had this dream of taking the Corps back to Europe during a competitive season, right? Taking the Blue Devils. Last time we went to Basel was what we call BDI. So it wasn't the Blue Devils that we all know and love that participate in the DCI season. But since we're not participating in DCI this year, or when I say that, I mean traveling to Indy, we had a unique opportunity to go to Basel, right, and take the Blue Devils over there, take the fighter pilots, take the kids that are at the top of their game right now. So we're going to take that opportunity and we're going to go over there. We're going to be over there for 3 weeks is the current schedule. And it's a great way for us to put the Blue Devils brand, on the international space, put DCI on, promote DCI and strengthen DCI on the international space. We're going to record the performance and show it at the DCI showcase in August as well. So there's a great way for us to, not only promote the DCI brand, but promote the Blue Devils brand as well.
Great. Obviously, this is a big touching point. Hopefully something later in the year, in June and July, gets cleared up a little bit more. But how do you intend to keep everyone safe? And how is this more of a better place to gravitate towards than just going to Indianapolis?
Yeah, for us, the trip to Basel was really made on two decisions. One, financially, right? We were going to make sure the organization, as I think anyone would, is extremely financially stable coming out of this. And due to some sponsorships, some amazing international sponsors that want us to come to Basel, that trip is going to be, completely paid for the Blue Devils. It's pretty amazing. And then the health and safety, we have some great contacts. We have an alumni that works at the Gates Foundation that works closely with our organization. We have contacts with the California CDC. And so through all of those, conversations over, I talk to them on about every other week right now and have for the last 8 weeks or 8 months. They believe that April point is really going to, the first couple of weeks of April is going to be that turning point where we're going to know what June, July, and August and beyond that really look like, right? As industry leaders, we felt, it was important that people have something to look forward to, right? Staff, membership, fans, and create hope and create, be inspiring in the activity. That's why we wanted to get that message out there. With the big, of course, disclaimer, and I think I made this in the video, and our message will be very consistent about this. We're not going to take money from anyone or make any financial outlays as an organization until the event is 100% confirmed, which we believe will be in that, first week or two in April.
Wow. So it feels good to be a Blue Devil. Oh man, it's been great being able to talk to you for sure about this.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Me too. Well, thanks for tuning in and thanks for hanging out with me. Everybody, Shaun Gallant, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
So obviously there's a lot to unpack here. Nicole, Suvin, how are we feeling about just what this means for DCI if Blue Devils and Vanguard aren't going to be there and they're already continuing with their plans for Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think Shaun made a really good point about the individual Corps' responsibility to continue to promote the DCI brand, and rightly so. I think the Blue Devils continue to do that. They continue to do these trips abroad and promote the community. But as these opportunities come up for other corps, does that mean that they also take those liberties in coming away from the DCI season? Does that mean that our follow-up DCI seasons may not see all 12 top corps? Does that mean these corps start taking liberties of pulling out of an 8-week tour to go quote unquote promote the DCI brand abroad, which essentially is benefiting our community either way? So I think we'll start to see this come into play a lot more as the DCI brand grows. It's a great thing for the activity, but how it affects DCI and what we know Indy as is yet to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Blue Devils have all the right to put the eye back in DCI, where they get to go out and do international adventures and go see other experiences. It's great to go see other things besides Lucas Oil Stadium. But what happens with all of the other age outs, Suvin, with the people that were promised a tour in 2020, 2021? What's happening now? They're about 23 now.
It's definitely a tough decision for those who are considering coming back for an extra year. What we do know is that there used to be a clear deadline for those students, right? And now there isn't, right? So they have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do with my life? So definitely a difficult position to be in. We'll see what happens for those members.
Yeah, one question the members might ask is this going to be a competitive event in Indianapolis? There's been no text through DCI at all that merits a competition, or whether it's just showcases, or we don't know.
I think what we can say, though, is that the standard of excellence for our community is going to be there regardless of competition. We have some of the highest caliber performers in the world in these drum corps, and I'm just excited to see what these corps do for 2021. That wraps up our news for today. If we miss anything, leave us a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest in the marching community. It's a pleasure to have you guys with me today. Thanks for watching at home. Stay safe and healthy. We'll see you next time.